drink it.
All right, Johnny's out there pouring the first one now, and we can make all the introductions. We can do everything, get everything out of the way. We're probably actually on Facebook right now, but it doesn't like to tell us. Here we go.
She's poo-pooing the old people.
No,
network.
Okay, and let's okay.
It's in the fridge. Yes.
All right, we're gonna try this anyways. Hey everybody, I don't know what they're seeing on Facebook right now, but I'm gonna tell you it is Thirstday. We've taken the day away from Thor. It's Thirstday because we're gonna pour some wine today. We got a very special Thirstday coming up because we're gonna be doing Midnight Cellars with the one, the only. Rich is here via Skype or whatever, Zoom, and the good-looking person on the screen up there is Brenna.
I can hear you.
Yes, I know. Is Brenna, who is the assistant winemaker, soon to be the head winemaker. And we have in the studios, we have Heather here. We have El Rey, the grape one himself, and we have all of you. And so we should probably start drinking.
Tasting.
Woohoo.
Tasting. Excuse me, tasting. All right.
Drinking is so boorish.
Is it? Oh, you've already. I see you've already
I've been tasting all afternoon.
Yeah, I know. I see you've already started. So, so here we are tonight. We have a great lineup of the Midnight Cellars. We have the two winemakers here with us tonight. We have the wholesaler importer is here tonight, and Ray.
Right. Last but not
least. Last but not least, but not to be left out, not to be decided. I am your host tonight, Ryan Maloney, and Johnny on the spot is our wine pourer. Ray might have to jump down every once in a while and help him out. But here we go. All right. How do you want to start this off? Do you want to have them just start drinking? Want to tell them what they're drinking first? You want to introduce
I think we
Rich?
should have Rich just do a quick hello, give us a little harvest report.
Okay.
They're in the middle of harvest right now, so they took a break from the very intense labor to be here with us. He's very excited about it. So go ahead.
Actually, do you know how excited I am to be sitting here in the air conditioning, drinking wine, than the other 8 people that are outside processing all our fruit right now in the heat? So I'm happy to be here. Sincerely happy.
So what's been going on? How's the harvest been going, guys?
Well, we started really slow, and then that heat spell came in and just ignited everything. So everybody's in panic mode now, trying to pick everything before it all turns to raisins. There's not enough water in the wells to pour on your vines to keep them from raisening. So we're sorting everything over the 2-table sort, trying to get out as many raisins on the table as we can. We have a new stemmer, which is exciting because that really does a nice job of letting the raisins stay on the stems and taking the berries off. So we're doing the best we can. It's a challenge. We make wine for a dozen other people here, and everybody's in the same boat. So it's going to be one of those things in Paso where the wines are going to be even bigger than a normal Paso wine will be, which is going to really it's going to really irritate some people because that's everyone's knock. If you have a knock on Paso, it's that the wines are too big and too tasty. And these are going to be bigger and tastier than most.
I hate it when a wine's big and tasty.
Yeah,
it's
right.
terrible when it's big and tasty. So we have that to look forward to then. So the harvest, even though you're going through your sort of problems, the outlook is really good.
I'm always a very positive person until the end when as everything's pressed and you go through and you taste everything. You can really evaluate the vintage and see how many stuck firms you got and how many wines that just are. That's what I blame some of my colleagues on. It's never my fault.
Well, okay. So let's let them try the first wine up because it's the only white of the evening. We have the Chardonnay first. So you guys want to tell us about that one?
Not really.
No? Okay. Just drink it then. Everybody.
I'm just kidding. Brenna should.
Okay. Well, we have our 2023 Chardonnay here. We're drinking it. You're drinking it. That's very exciting. This is the 2023, so it was harvested a year ago. And from our state, as is almost everything we have here, I think, or everything. We just actually finished fermentation on our 24 Chardonnay, so it's very cool to be trying the past year's Chardonnay as well, and kind of comparing vintages while we're in process of the next one. But our Chardonnay is always like pretty crisp. It has a lot of like lemon notes. It's dry, and we get a little bit of oak and a little bit of that mallow feel. So it's a little bit softer, but it's not too overly crazy oaky. That's what I like about it. But you get a little bit of that, like those secondary flavors of vanilla, and yeah, it's a really.
Do you split it? Do you do some oak, some stainless steel, or you do all oak?
We do all oak. So there's percentage of new oak, so we don't have that 100% you know, kind of impartmentation of oak flavors, but
Impartmentation. That's
is
a big word.
Is that good?
That's a
I
big
don't know.
word.
My mind's scrambled right now. I'm just pulling, I don't know, pulling things from space. But you don't get all that oak flavor. You're not just hitting it 100%, but with a little bit, we do like, I think this year is probably 30, 35.
Which is what we usually do.
That gives it enough to kind of round out the flavors, but doesn't just make it taste like, you know, like oak water.
Yeah, I mean isn't that sort of the bash and some of the California Chardonnays can be just so over the top oaky,
Buttery.
Right.
and that buttery malolactic that they lack structure. And this is really nice because it still has some of that acidity, that balance to it, which is really good. And might I say, Brenna, that was the most coherent thing I've ever heard come out of Midnight Cellars.
Thanks.
She's like, I didn't even do a good job. Yeah, but we're usually listening to Rich, so that's
I get
great.
it.
Thank you
I
so
get it.
much.
The bar's low, so thanks.
That's why she,
I like how
Right
she went, the
here.
bar's low. He definitely has, yeah.
again, I am right here. I'm a very sensitive person too.
Which is very well
They
spoken.
love you. They love you here, Rich. So you're okay.
That's all that matters, really.
They love you from what, 2,000 miles away. That's where they love
Right.
you for the most.
Yeah, the
This is
Chardonnay.
really good Chardonnay, though.
I've been making the Chard the same boring way since 1995. Just clean and crisp. It's how I was taught how to do it. The kind of old world style. We age it all slowly. We stir the lees, so you get a little bit of that creamy texture from that. A little bit of oak, a little bit of butter, but really clean and crisp. Chardonnay driven. So hopefully it tastes like Chardonnay and not oak and butter.
No, it definitely does. It definitely does.
Definitely.
You know, if it ain't Baroque, don't fix it, right?
Yeah.
I had to throw that one in there. It's a dad joke type of day.
It's nicely done. Nicely played too.
All right, so do we want to move on to our first red and sort of our premiere?
Yes. Yes.
So Ray got to actually taste this out at what we did. We actually had an event called what we did this summer, and it was about all of our projects and stuff that were going on. It was the first time we opened up a bottle of the MoonCraft, which is a blend that Rich and I should say Brenna probably put together. She probably did more work than him. Anyways,
Yep.
but they put together for us and we get to choose. And this is the one we chose. And I think it's fantastic. And it really came together. We opened a bottle early and we realized we had opened the bottle early. But now it's tasting fantastic.
MoonCrafting.
So we have that one. So you want to tell us a little bit about the makeup of this one?
No.
I don't think you understand why we have you here today. Which
No,
is why,
this actually, my input on this is going to be, this is Brenna's creation. She
Good
came
job.
up with the trial blends. I obviously tried them and approved them and thought they were wonderful. And then we sent them out to you guys and you guys made the decision on it. These kind of blends are just fun for us to make. Something different. We don't have anything like this in the Midnight lineup, so making something like this is kind of a chance for us to goof around a little bit in a very serious way, and make a fun wine that'll hopefully people will really enjoy.
Fun wine made in a serious way. I like that. That sums up your entire right?
His motto.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
just your
made that
motto.
up.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
made
I know.
that up.
I know. I know. I just solidified it. I coined the phrase. Thank you. You're welcome.
Trademark.
So this who's not had the MoonCraft yet? The new one. Oh, great. Yes, no, maybe, not too sure. Don't like it. All right.
If you don't like
Security,
it, it's Rich's fault.
security
But if
over
you
there.
like it, it's,
Get over there. What did you say, Brenna?
if you don't like it, it's Rich's fault. But if you like it, it's mine.
Right.
There you go.
Well, this is
The
it was
blend.
made,
He's gonna get. What's the blend? They want to know what the blend is.
So this is all 2022 wines. It's about 50-50 Malbec and Cab.
that's good. You said that because that's what it says in the back.
Well, that's exactly what it is.
She didn't look at the back label. She doesn't cheat like you do.
No, it's created in the same kind of the easy drinking, approachable wine. You can throw a little chill on it. It's good sitting in front of a fire. It's good sitting out by the pool. It's just one of those easygoing, super versatile wines that people genuinely, people that really love wines and know a lot about it, and people that like wines and they don't know a lot about it. Everybody kind of gathers around this style of wine. It's kind of like the Full Moon Red that we do. It's the same style, but our Full Moon Red's a Syrah Zin, and this is a Cab Malbec.
What I like about this wine is it is sort of easy drinking, but there's definitely it's a meaty wine. I mean,
Yep.
there's meat on that bone. You know what I mean? There's still structure. There's still depth of character, unlike the winemaker, the head winemaker, anyways. But really, I like this one. I have a case at home. This was what we're currently drinking at my house.
Nice.
Awesome.
All right, so
This was our only bottle. This was our bottling sample.
Okay.
Keep a bottle of everything we bottle. Just in
I know a
case.
place where you can buy some more if you need it.
Yeah. So I'll be back there. I'll get my bottle.
But this is the first time a lot of people are trying this one, so I'm really happy. This is going to be basically our fall winter red, that we're going to be showing off all season. So this is our season wine.
Right.
So
Great for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It'll be great with pumpkin pie. This wine will just it'll kill for you guys.
yeah, I'm really psyched.
It's only 100 cases production too, so pretty
Yeah,
limited.
we seem to go like, oh my god, we got 100 cases, and other people like it's only produced 100 cases. So I mean, it's all perspective, right, of how you look at things.
It's only 100 cases in the world.
In the world. So this has the ability to store. Does this have the ability to store for a little while?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's cabin Malbec. So I mean, you could age this for 10 years if you wanted to, but the fun of it is that it's ready to go now.
Right.
It'll improve for the next 5, 6, 7 years, but why wait? Just drink this stuff down.
That's a challenge. The challenge is, can you wait 7 years to drink it? Like knowing that it's in your closet, right?
Waited this
Not
long.
so much.
So
What's that?
I'm drinking that sucker today.
Yes, exactly. No, but it does have. Well, it has enough structure and stuff to age. Definitely.
It definitely appreciates a little bit of quiet time after bottling too. It really did. It has improved since we bottled it.
So for those of you who don't know, and Heather's going to be mad at me for saying this, but so usually when you have a wine and it's bottled, you usually let it sit at the winery for a while until it solidifies and it sort of becomes what it's going to become, and then you ship it, and then the wholesaler usually keeps it for a little bit because it just traveled across the country and got shook up,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Sort of it can separate out a little bit, can be
Yeah.
do all these really funky things, but so you let it sit for a little bit longer than that. Then it comes to the retailer, and then we sell it. So by the time we get it, it's really ready to sell. What we did with this wine, because we were worried about timing and how everything was going to go, after Rich and Brennan bottled this, they shipped it right away. And Heather shipped it here. It's been sitting here at one place since it basically maybe a week or so after it got bottled.
Exactly.
It's been sitting here waiting to be ready to be drunk. And
Nice. quiet and calm.
That's
and
right.
calm
It's
and sitting
calming,
there
it's
and stuff
sleepy
like
time.
that. So
Classical
we gave
music
it
playing
here.
in the background.
Yeah, we gave it here, had it here rather than having to ship it out later on and then having to having to wait again for it to come out. So we sort of took the whole process that takes a long time, and we just had a shorter time in one spot. And so this is what you guys got.
About
a
6
great
weeks.
plan.
About 6 weeks
6 weeks.
total, right, of rest before we even presented it to you guys.
Yeah.
So
That was so funny because right before it was bottled, it was sitting in tanks and prep for bottling, and the order was already out because you guys were taking it right away. And so we got a couple. Sometimes the trucks try and set up a time for pickup, and that's happening really quick. And we were like, "Well, it's in tank, so you can't take it now, but try again. How about like it was like the day after bottling? I think they took it away. So we were like, "Yep, there you go." But it was like they
Went
were
right
it was 2 or 3 times they were like, "How about now?" We're like, "No, close soon. We're almost there."
Yeah, that was as they were like calling them.
Yeah.
They might have even showed up while we were bottling it.
Yeah, it was-
Well,
it was-
you're gonna have to wait around a couple hours.
did you go wait? Just go have lunch and we'll have this done.
Yeah, kind of. It was one of those. Yeah.
Right.
That's great.
We did a good job. It was very well choreographed.
It was very well choreographed between getting the label approved and all of that and getting them printed and getting the bottling done. I mean, it really, you guys did a fantastic job of a choreographing chaos.
Yes.
Yes. Show that beautiful label. All right. So this is now going to be available. Ray's going to we're going to have this on the machine, I guess.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're doing tastings constantly on this. So if you know somebody that wants to try it, we believe in a strong try before you buy process here at Julio's. Whenever we can, we like you to try it. So when you leave here, you already know the answer. I like it or I don't like it. Don't buy it if you don't like it.
And we're
So
going
I
to be
could buy
pouring
it.
it.
Don't
at
tell me if
Harvest-
you don't like
at
it.
Harvest Fest.
Yeah. Don't tell Ray. Don't tell Rich that you don't like it or Ray. What's that?
Yes.
We're going to pour it at Harvest Fest.
We are going to, oh, that reminds me. I should probably put that out right now. The wine harvest tasting is Saturday. It'll be October 26th from 2 to 3:30. We have a harvest tasting. We have over 26 tables and over 100 wines. And so that is going to be the way we do a lot of things. That's a $10 gift card to go, and you can bring a friend. If you don't have a friend, we'll hit you up with one. That you can come with.
I'll be your friend for the day.
Except for Rich.
I'll even keep my shirt
Because we
on.
don't want trouble at the place. So, but that's coming up. So keep that in mind that is coming up the end of the month. All right.
Yeah.
Did I get that plug in?
I think so.
All right. Good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Great.
Good.
All right. I'm ready for the next wine. He's trying to drink that whole bottle before he gets there. This is good. I like
I'm
it.
sipping. I've had a day. I had a flat tire on my flatbed truck. My forklift.
I mean, it's right in the name. It's in the name. You're surprised?
My vineyard forklift starter went out when a whole bunch of grapes sitting there in the vineyard, and my tractor broke down, so I had to drag that out with the other tractor, and it's still not fixed.
So it's pretty much a typical day
been
at
a
the
day.
vineyard.
Yeah.
Is that a typical day at the vineyard,
was a little
though?
more.
Seriously, it's got to be, right? And something's always got to be going
During
on.
harvest
Yeah.
time, because you use everything that you haven't used all year, you fire up all this stuff and then you use it every day for 12 or 14 hours. Yeah, it does happen, but it doesn't make it any more fun or interesting.
Yeah. No, it still stinks.
Yeah.
All right. What's the
But,
next
you know,
one?
no one got hurt, no one got arrested. So here we are.
And what are you listening to down in the winery?
Now it's
Go ahead.
kind of
Now that they're gone?
No.
some
So-
90s hip hop going on right now.
There you go.
Nice. So at Harvest, they keep the music going all the time.
Right.
And there's just constantly this vibe. And there's a little bit of a fight over what kind of music. And
Well, now
last
that we're
year
full
during
power-
Harvest, we had that radio.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, Girl Power took over, which is what I didn't foresee that it being part of going Girl Power.
And it'll never happen again.
Except for that
I hope
shit
you-
that they play. Well, actually,
Oh,
we
wait a minute.
started-
We had excuse me, ding dong. We had the first swear of the day.
I know. Are we
Perfect.
to swear?
Yeah, of course you are. Of course you are.
Oh.
Sorry.
If Zuckerberg caught it.
Okay.
He
if,
X'd him out.
if anyone from Zuckerberg's office is listening to this, I'll be amazed.
They're always listening.
Actually,
I think Mark's on. He called me. He said he's going to be on.
who
He says he's going to be on. Yeah, Mike was like a break. Yeah,
he called you?
Mark
He
Zuckerberg
called.
called me. He said he was going to be on. Yeah.
yeah.
He called you. Said he
Hi,
was.
Mark.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Mark. Don't get
You're
us
talking about
down.
our
Yeah.
marketing nerd.
No.
Like, what's
All right. What's the next
Oh.
wine we're going to try tonight?
Actually,
Yeah, here.
I actually have to work after.
Our next wine is our 2019.
Yes.
Yes.
Our 2019 Malbec. This is our
Oh,
estate Malbec. We actually harvested our Malbec yesterday.
He did.
really.
We got 3 tons on the 2 acres, which is a good. It doesn't sound good, but that's a good yield for us out there.
How old is the Malbec vines?
We planted them in 05. First harvest was 08. And that's when we started making the, no, that's not right. 06 was our first harvest out there. So 03 we planted, 06 we harvested. And that was our first Zenith bottling of estate wine. Nope,
Okay.
that's also a lie. The 08, we planted 05. I haven't
Yeah.
even had to drink. I swear to God, I haven't. We
He's been
planted it
drinking, I
in
can see.
05, harvested in 08, and that was our first 4 wine Zenith was 08, but 06 was our first Zenith.
Okay. Is everybody clear on that?
I know.
No.
I'm not even clear on
You
it.
know what?
so-
Welcome to the
so-
club. Neither is Rich.
It's something like that.
It's something
and you
like
guys
that.
can just Make up your own story.
We'll fact check him.
We'll fact
later.
check him later.
Yeah.
But yes, we planted in 05, harvested 08, and we had the
What-
Zenith starting in 06, but we didn't have the Malbec component to it.
Hold- One second. What do you want, sir? This is 2019. Do you guys age this longer in the bottle at the winery before it gets released?
Well, I don't know that we're necessarily aging it in bottle, but we have it in bottle 3 to 6 months prior to our release. And then obviously we have it for the length of the stay of the wine. So while we're selling it, we have it. But yeah, 19 is we're finishing up with the 19 vintage. 20s we're motoring right on into those, and that was a short year. So we'll catch up with the 21.
Can I answer this question? Because you
Sure.
guys don't drink enough Zinfandel.
No one does.
You got to drink more Zen. That's the
Everybody
way.
does.
That's the Malbec. Excuse me. You didn't drink enough of the Malbec. No, this is the Zen, right?
Malbec.
This is the Malbec.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
This is the Malbec, right?
Malbec.
Yeah.
See,
This is
see,
the
I'm not
Malbec.
the only one.
Yes.
This-
No, that wasn't me. I'm not taking credit for that. I knew it was the Malbec. All of a sudden, I realized they go, "Am I drinking Zen? Because this tastes like Malbec. There's something wrong."
It's all right.
Definitely.
It tastes
It
good.
tastes-
It tastes good. I
I
love
don't know,
Malbec.
it definitely tastes more like Malbec than Zen.
Right. Right. You're not basically it's how it catches up and moves through the system. So if everybody isn't drinking enough,
Yeah.
you got to pull up the slack, guys,
Tasting.
because that's how you get to the next vintage. We're at the end of the 19 right now, correct?
Yes.
We're
Yes.
at the end of the 19 bottlings right now.
Yes.
So if you liked it, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys probably have the last of the 19. So if anyone likes this one, you can't call here and get it because we don't have any here.
I had a bottle of this about 2 weeks ago with a steak on the grill. It was fantastic. Very, really, really, really good.
That's what we should be doing right now. We should be eating steak.
We should be having steaks right now.
Yeah. I get my friend's got this system that I use on my gas grill now. It's got the pellets, and I can basically, wood fire on my gas grill, and it's awesome. I love it, especially with steaks. It's so good.
Be good.
Yeah, because I'm lazy. I can't get into like the green egg and do all that stuff. I just gotta
You
boom.
get the effect though, right?
Oh yeah, I definitely got the effect. Absolutely.
So someone asked about bottle aging, which is a good question, but Rich does a pretty good barrel program. So the wines are in barrel for a bit before they go into bottle. And so he takes his time with that. And I figured he might be able to chat about that a little bit.
What? What?
Just joking. Jeez, everyone's so serious today. Yeah.
Let me ask a question: did anybody come to this? Did anybody come to this tasting think it was going to be serious?
I'm
You
being
You
serious.
did. You never been to one with Rich then?
This is about as serious as I get. So
He makes great wine, but serious, no, not much.
I drink way too much to be too serious. So yes, we barrel age wines probably a year longer than other smaller producers, and maybe 2 years longer than some of the macro guys out there. Some of those guys have 22s out right now, and we're finishing up on our 20s here at the winery. My dad's philosophy, I started this business back a long time ago with my folks. My dad's philosophy was he wanted the wines to be closer to being ready. The reason we're in this business is because of those Napa cabs that were there's, and I still drink a lot of them. But they need 15 years before you can actually even taste the wine and how it was supposed to be. Paso was always a little more approachable at a younger age. So we've made them even closer to being ready by giving them an additional, and we age our reds 2.5 to 3 years now in barrels. So when people buy them, you can drink them now. I mean, they'll age great. We just had the 1997 Mari Nectaris this last weekend. It was my very first one I ever made, and it was still good. And that was, that was my third vintage I ever made as a winemaker. Ish, 3 years isn't enough to learn that kind of stuff, but it was still good. So the wines will age. It's just you don't have to. You don't have to spend this money and then have that question mark about how it's going to age and all that. You can crack it open and drink it right now. That's always been our philosophy since my old man was, and that really was hard for my dad to accept because he was a kind of in a hurry guy. You didn't understand the wine.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You taught your father patience?
No. No one ever taught my dad anything.
Yeah.
He was kind of his own guy, but he softened to the idea when he saw that we were actually being medium successful selling our wines as an absolute no-name winery in a no-name wine region. And we were the 29th winery in Paso Robles, and now there's almost 400 wineries here.
Really?
It was a much different world back then. Both the town of Paso, which is an amazing place to visit now, the hotels are incredible, the restaurants are incredible, the bars sometimes are a little sensitive to loud karaoke singing, but other than that, they're very amenable. Very
They
amenable.
also like it when you keep your shirt on, apparently.
Well, that was probably Rich's problem. Hopefully, Heather, and not yours. Anyways.
Well, I tried.
Okay. I don't need to know. TMI.
Definitely.
No, but it's changed so much that I always recommend to everybody come see me. I've had a lot of Julio's customers come out here as a result of not being too insulted by my presentation and come see me, and we have a blast. And we just had a couple that is always out there, Tim and Kate. We had a blast. They stayed the whole afternoon, and we tasted everything. I mean,
for those, are most of you guys familiar with Midnight Cellars at all? First time? Okay. First time meeting Rich? Via Zoom?
That.
Yeah, via Zoom. You're making a great first impression, Rich. Anyways, no, I think it's important to understand Midnight Cellars in the sort of the scheme of things. There are not many, and I think you still consider yourself a farmer. There are not many places left that really do what Rich does. It's all hands on. It's taking care of the land. It's, trying to create wines, and he's super small, but you're also making wines for other people. So, and that's not the way it started. They started finding Rich and having Rich make wines for them because he was doing such a good job at it at a relatively young vineyard age when he started out. So there are not a lot of these things around anymore, especially you guys pay attention to the news and stuff, who's buying who. It's just the bigger guys are getting bigger and the smaller guys are going away. Okay. So when you get somebody like this who really, I don't know if you can tell, he really likes what he does. And he's got the love of the wine and he's got the love of what he does. And to produce stuff like that he is producing at the price points, and we'll get to that later, of the stuff he is producing them at, is really unique, and why we've sort of had Julio's in general has had a great relationship with you two, but a great relationship with Midnight Cellars, because we recognize the love that's in that are in these bottles, and so we want to make sure he keeps going, and is not the last of a dying breed. So
Someone
that
said
is
the
one of the
other day
reasons.
that me and Bob Dunning, who's another winemaker here in the area, that I mean, everybody loves Bob. I don't have that same kind of love for me.
No, you're
But
right. Yeah,
Bob
absolutely
Dunning
correct.
is one of these great legend guys. And one guy said, yeah, it seems like you guys are just kind of timing out. Like, that's like the rudest thing I ever heard. I mean, I have nowhere else to go. I have no other job that I could possibly
No
do.
other skill set.
No,
No.
zero. I can make wine. I can grow wine, make wine, drink wine. That's it. Like it. That's very nice
And
of you to
yes,
say,
that's true.
by the way, Ryan. I really appreciate your comments and that. I do. I try to make wine fun, because wine is meant to be fun. This isn't solving any diseases in the world or hunger. This is for people to relax and enjoy and take a little edge off their lives sometimes. So that's why I do it. The reason our wines are a little more affordable, that's my dad again. He said it 100,000 times. I want people to be able to drink our wines every day, not every year.
Right.
And so we try to keep that price point where it is, just so people can have fun and have what I consider to be an above average wine at a price you can drink. You know, you can drink 6, 7 bottles in a night if you wanted to. See what I did there?
By the way, he's 4 in. Nice
I think
not
we all
over.
are,
Nice not
okay?
over. But you know, I mean, that's a probably a really important thing to bring up again too, Rich, is that, you know, we've all been through COVID and all that, where we sort of couldn't have those times together. I mean, I mean, talk about drinking alone, right? You had a very small group that you drank with, but the wines were always meant to be drunk with a bunch of people. And, you know, this is all part of community and togetherness. And the fact that we can come back together now and start enjoying these wines again, I think is phenomenal. And not sitting at home, just, you know, sort of drinking by ourselves and having these sort of experiences with other people.
Agreed. Couldn't agree more.
Well, anyways, how do you guys like the Malbec?
I love
This
it.
is one of my favorites. I really like the Malbec.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the better Malbecs ever made by anybody in the whole history of winemaking.
Oh boy.
Well,
Uh,
you know,
He
I meant
asked
to
my
bring
opinion.
I meant to bring up your modesty. And I'm so glad
I am
you
the best at being modest as well.
the best at being modest. All right. It's a South American wine that, you know, is known for, like you're right, sir, in Argentina and stuff like that. But I mean, if a place was going to grow it and grow it well, it's Paso Robles, and Malbec really shows very well there.
Loves the heat.
It's the heat.
Grows well here. Syrah does too. So does Zin. Well, I remember having Zin, right?
The Zin is last.
Zin's last because it
Malbec
begins.
is originally from France.
Malbec is really, it's the Cahors, isn't it?
Yep.
Horse.
Yep.
It's Cahors. It's the red wine of Cahors.
I just had a
Right.
Cahors the other night, and I felt very sophisticated.
Did you?
Yeah, I really did. I drank the whole bottle myself.
Oh.
No.
Is that the sophisticated part of it? You know, 750s. Hey, just so you know, Rich, 750s are considered a single serving.
It's a glass.
Really big
I
glass.
drank it right out of the glass too. I didn't
You guys all know that the only glass approved by the winery is the one it comes in.
That's exactly right.
Right.
All right, so what do we got next?
Cabernet.
Cabernet. Oh, sort of the components. I see what you did there.
Mhm.
Rather clever. Rich had nothing to do with that.
I was envisioning Brenna going through with the wine thief and pulling samples out of the barrels
Mhm.
Did
and
that
then
literally.
deciding, right?
I literally did
Thank you,
that.
Johnny.
So what was the day? You go through and you pick your samples and then you started blending them in a beaker.
Yep. Yeah. I
Okay.
just take basically pretty easy. I mean, you have it looks all scary because it's milliliters and all this stuff and
It's
chemistry, but I just take percentages out of 100 mils. It's very simple. And also I think about like, well, I have this many barrels, so it would be easy for me to blend it. You know, it's like these 2 barrels, 50% done.
There's a certain reality to blending. You have to use everything up.
Yeah. So also, you know, you guys were looking for specific like 50-50 percentages. You gave me kind of some varietals I had to go through. I'm looking at like what we have available. And this Malbec actually, it's the Malbec that's in the MoonCraft. So it's very good Malbec that we pulled for that component. The cab is too. So it actually like those two blended together just really worked.
Yeah.
The other thing, I'm trying to remember, I think it had Zin and something else.
We tried the second blend was like just
We had the Zen.
like the full
yeah, it was the Zin Syrah. That's right.
Zin Syrah blend.
But I think this one, I think we both liked this one better, and you guys did too. So it kind of worked out.
I was glad you guys went with it.
Yeah,
because I really did prefer it.
Yeah, I think when we were tasting it, it was I think it was a hands down winner.
Yeah.
We did that. We did that one. By the way, for those of you who don't know, we did the final tasting with Rich via Zoom here. Just us all trying it at the same time and making those decisions off the samples that were sent. And
It's a fun little project.
it was really
off the beaten track.
So what do you guys think of the cab?
I like it.
There's a thumbs up from the crowd. There's another one. Any more?
This is, I
I
mean,
liked it too.
what's that? What's the vintage on the cab?
2020.
2020. 2020 vintage.
26 months in oak.
So the cab we get from a number of different vineyards. We grow cab on our place, and there's it depends on the year, but 2 or 3 other vineyards of cab, all West Side cab that we get that we put into the Cabernet program. And we usually splash a little bit of Merlot in this estate Merlot. I think we did on this one, right?
Yeah, we did 10%.
Yeah, 10% of the.
He had a real dark, like a dark cherry at the end of this that really pops at the end of this. What's that? A little more fruit forward. Yeah, it's still got some good, nice tannins though. Yeah, and I get that pop of like a dark cherry too. Really good.
Robles is going to generally be a little more fruit driven and less earth driven than the Napas and all that. They're also going to be a little softer tannin profile for the most part. So it makes them a little more approachable at an earlier age. So again, so you don't have to wait 15, 20 years. This is 4 years old. It's drinking pretty good. Again, this will last another 10 years. At least in the bottle and improve over that time.
One of the things that I do like, but Ray can maybe even speak more to this, is that pretty much all the wines that you're producing now have a Stelvin closure, a twist off cap, and but we have to balance the romanticism of cork with the reality that you lose too much damn wine that way.
Cork taint. I mean, cork taint
is bigger than most people think. Yeah.
15%. So more than one bottle a case, it's okay, according to people in the industry, to have a bottle that's flawed. We just popped one of our our reserve reds are still under cork. We popped a Vince Celeste last night. It was cork. And every time I do it,
right.
There's no reason to have a bottle under cork other than the cool noise. The wines age exactly the same under a screw cap. They have exactly the same air porosity as a regular cork does, and there's 0.0% chance of having a cork bottle. So eventually, everyone's going to jump on board with that, especially when you pop a nice bottle like we did last night and it's corked and it's ruined. And especially, I popped a Sassicaia once that I'd saved for 10 years. And we were sitting around and I was so proud of it. And I had some people that really knew wines. And as soon as you pop that bottle, it filled the whole room with cork. It was like, darn it.
Yeah, but when it's pronounced, it's one thing. Too. The problem with a corked or a tainted bottle is if it's only slightly corked.
Right.
And people drink it and they think this is the way the wine tastes. It's got a weird taste to it, and they'll start talking about it, and you go like, you try it, and you go, well, the reason why you're saying that is because it's corked, but it isn't overly so that everybody's sort of immediately going it's corked.
Right.
And
Right.
you don't want people thinking that's the wine we're producing, right? You guys like don't want to think have people think that that's what you're producing and that's exactly the way your wine tastes. It's not. And that's the danger, I think, of having cork taint where it's not as pronounced and that people may not pick it up and just think
Totally.
it's not that great wine.
Yeah, no, it's really scary to think about, like, people's one impression of you could be, you know, that one bottle that is, you know, like you're talking about, lightly corked, and you don't really, you know, it tastes terrible, and then you're like, well, you know, this winery, I'm never buying from this winery again.
Right.
So I think about that all the time. I think about, like, that's your reputation right there.
Well,
And, big deal.
what you get, a raisin taste? No, you know what it's a mustiness, musty like damp basement is on wet cardboard is another one that will like sort of it can be there's a variety of different things it can smell and taste like, but that's
Like
your
a moldy,
typical one.
musty cork
Yeah.
is what it's like a lot of times. That's what ours last night was. And you know, you smell it and I was like, man, this doesn't smell. The only reason I knew it was corked is because I'm very familiar with the wine.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's
once
like
you
you're an
put it in your
expert, you
mouth,
knew that.
man, it was
Yeah.
ugh. And then we all wept.
Yeah, we did. We wept.
Wait a minute, hold on. What's that, sir? You can use the synthetic.
You should ask Rich though. A
yeah,
lot of the
go ahead, Rich.
winemakers don't like the synthetic corks.
Talk about the synthetic corks, Rich.
I tried synthetic corks years ago, as did Normie over at Dark Star, and they swore by them and said that they have the exact same porosity, just like the caps say they do, which do. But these were like hyperoxidizers. Normie lost a whole vintage. He put all his wines under a synthetic cork, and they oxidized so fast it was like they didn't have a cork in the bottle. I tried it on a couple of vintages of wines, and ditto. I mean, I don't know if they're better now. Maybe they are, but they're so hard to screw a cork puller in. They break stuff. They break those little cool little estate things because they're so tough to get the cork out of. So we stopped doing that. We also tried the agglomerated parts as parts corks. And they say these are gamma rays, just like the Hulk, and they're impervious to all. And we had a cork issue with them, and they refused to acknowledge the fact that they had a cork issue. They're like, that's impossible. So I was sending them bottles, and they're like, oh no, it's not cork taint. It could be the fact that these are 75% glue. So I'm like, maybe we won't.
Yeah, that's and it's always like, so it's still bad, is what you're telling me.
Right.
Right. They did nothing for it.
It's not one type of bad. It's another type of bad. So at the end of the day, you're ruining our wines.
The G4 corks, don't use those. Anybody that makes wine, don't use them.
But that's the whole thing. I mean, you guys don't get that chance back again. If something like that happens, you don't get that chance back with the consumer. So that's a tough thing where if you do this, they go like, oh, it's screw cap, but you also go, oh, but it's going to taste exactly what we want it to taste like when you open that up.
Right. And the screw caps, the only problem we've had with screw caps is that occasionally they won't seal. Like they spin these just like they do a capsule on a cork bottle. And sometimes the capsular isn't sealing it perfectly right. And so you'll have an occasional leaker. But I've had that happen 3 times in the 10 years that we.
Yeah. So if you're talking like, you're talking about, 1/100th of a percentage of bad balls, your odds are still way better.
Yeah.
And by the way, most of that's going to be so obvious that it was the cap that you had a leaker. It's not, you're never going to sort of go, I don't think you're going to go back to the wine. You look at the wine and it's halfway down because it leaked and stuff like that. So the odds of even somebody going, oh, we had a bad bottle. That's what you want them to say. If they have a bad bottle, you want them to say, oh, we had a bad bottle, not like that wine is bad.
Right.
Not
Right?
that
You know what I
suck
mean?
at what you do.
You suck.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, this is our
yeah.
cab. Cab's kind of our signature wine that we
All right.
do.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Rich. 1 second. Go ahead, sir. So there is, yeah. So the corkscrew with the stelvin enclosure you're sealing. Here's what somebody's asking: with the cork, are you letting it breathe a little bit, and they're not getting that from the screw cap? He wants to know, how are they the same? Because are you sealing one with the screw cap, and the cork itself, isn't there still an amount of breathing that goes on
Yes.
in the
There
wine?
is
Yes.
air transfer with the Stelvin. It's
There
very
is still
controlled. Yeah.
there is still. It's got
Yeah,
the same. It's the same
over the
rate,
last
right?
10 years or so, they have engineered the Stelvins to have the same air porosity as a cork.
So,
So
you know what they call that? Science, sir. Science.
science.
She blinded me with science. Right. No, I get what you're saying, but now the technology has come to the point where they've started taking that into account. And like I said, it's never means to say that you'll never get a bottle that won't be perfect. But the amount of times that's going to happen is so minuscule to the amount of times. 15%. I mean,
15%.
would you take 15% of eggs? Would you want to be bad? You know what I mean? Start thinking of that. 1 in every dozen of eggs is going to be bad, and when you hit it, it's really going to be bad. You don't want that. So, I mean, that's out of the numbers you're working with. I think it's 0.001 with a Stelvin closure, something like that. Something like that. So that's that's a lot less percentage.
I like the egg reference. I'm going to use that. I'll footnote you, but I'm going to use that.
Thank you. You're welcome. A 15% failure with a cork, Stelvin closure, a screw cap, it's like 0.001. So it's somewhere in there, something like stupid. You can look up, and I'm sure I'm wrong in the exact number, but it's really low. Yeah.
And you can get the studies where they have the air exchange over time for the 10 years or whatever, 15 years, and the air exchange is remarkably similar between the caps and the corks.
That's great. That's good. I didn't know that, but thank you for telling me that. I appreciate that information. I'll give you credit for that one.
I'm here to educate. I am.
I'm here to drink wine and educate, and I just forgot a bunch of stuff. That I watched there a lot. They Live a little while ago with Roddy Piper. Did you ever see that movie? I know Rich has.
I haven't seen that movie in 35 years.
I'm here to kick ass and chew gum, and I just ran out of gum.
All out of bubble gum. That's a kick-ass movie. That's hilarious.
All right, what's our next one, Heather?
Merlot.
Merlot.
The mighty Merlot.
I like Heather even softened it up. She goes, Merlot.
Merlot.
Rich came to market right after Sideways, and every time we would take Merlot out, he would say, Merlot is the new Merlot.
Merlot is the new Merlot?
You have to fist bump. Merlot is the new Merlot.
Don't leave me hanging. Oh, she left me hanging.
Sorry.
I'll give you one more shot. There you go.
I've been saying that since that stupid movie came out. Finally, actually starting to happen. Like people are actually want Merlot again.
I mean, Merlot is less stuffy, as one gentleman put it. But here, it's a lot of things have been like that. For a while, it was still what was it? ABC, anything but Chardonnay.
Yeah.
And Chardonnays, especially lower malolactic Chardonnays have started making a comeback. And yours fits right in that sort of frame.
Just crisp, clean, like a Chablis. I'm being generous with myself, but like a Chablis, a Burgundy. It's very close in that kind of a style. And that's the guys that taught me how to make wine were very old school people that like to do things very traditionally and hand pick, whole cluster press, aged surly, all French oak, but not too much. And so I've just kept doing it, and it keeps selling. So, and I keep drinking.
Yeah, it's great.
My wife drinks it.
My wife drinks- Listen, there's nothing wrong with making a wine just for your wife. There's nothing wrong with that. But the Merlot, like Merlot has come back because people are starting to look again for that sort of more versatile. What's that?
I said I love the Merlot.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
I'm
You
just
can say that
whispering.
way out
Okay.
loud. Say you love the Merlot. You don't have to be quiet
Scream it
about
from the mountaintops.
Scream it,
Heather.
yes.
Come on.
Scream it
Love
from the
the
mountaintops. I
Merlot.
love the Merlot. There you go.
There you go.
Because
have friends.
it has that versatility, and I think that's what a lot of people like Merlot. What do you think, Ray?
Well, Rich, if you remember back 2016 when I was with you, you opened a bottle of 1999 Merlot, and I'm saying 16 years out. How good could it be? The best Merlot. This is not self-serving. It was the best Merlot I think I've ever had. It was a cab drinker's Merlot. It was absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't believe
Still
it
is.
was. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe the ageability of
That's
the
Ray
wine.
hinting that next time he comes out, he wants you to open another one.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Oh, Ray, you got to come out again. I know we partied maybe a little too hard last time, but this time we're older and we can't do it as much. So.
Well,
The result will be
nailed
the
it.
same, but less wine will be drunk.
yes.
I'm just lying. That's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Our Merlot, the estate Merlot.
Is it? What do you do? What do you do different with your Merlot? Somebody's asking because it's not like overly heavy. It's got liveliness to it.
And this is going to sound ridiculous and like I'm being silly, but our vineyard, I think, is the best place in Paso to grow Merlot. The soils, the combination of calcareous soils, and it just rock. I mean, there's not a lot of dirt out there. There's not a lot of water out there. We have the right, the rootstock is on 110R, which everyone told us not to plant because there's no way it's going to get ripe. It gets ripe every year. And it's just a great place to grow Merlot. So it comes out, it's usually very big and tannic right out of the gate. We do an extended maceration, so we leave it on the skins for a month. We did 60 days for the 2018. We'll never do that again. Those tannins never went away. I can still taste that tannin like from 6 years ago in my mouth. But it's just a great place to grow Merlot, and it just turns out good. I don't do anything special. I am not a wizard, as you could probably guess. It just, you grow the grapes right. You make the wine how you were taught how to make it, and it just turns out. I mean, I'd love to claim more credit for it, but it's just a cool vineyard to grow Merlot.
Who? And I'll ask Ray and Heather this question: Who typically grows the best Merlot? Like in the world, I mean, Merlot is now grown all over the world, right? But it was always traditionally a Bordeaux
Yeah,
grape
it's
varietal,
iconic. Yeah.
right? Is it still that way? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I think I don't want to. Geez, I hate to make his head any bigger than it already is, but
It's not that big. It's very well proportioned anyway.
I wasn't going to be talking about you. So, anyways, no, but I mean, like this could go head to head with any of like the really great Merlots around the world.
Especially Right Bank.
Second that.
Right Bank.
I get a second on that.
Merlots.
I agree.
Yeah.
I get a second on that. All in favor? Say aye.
I,
All right, everybody's listen. You can't vote on your own.
all right.
The style is it's delicious.
I'm easily confused.
Right. It's right. A Merlot is typically been a blending grape. You're right. But this is beautiful on its own.
I use it to blend too. Don't get me wrong. I put 10% in the cab almost every year. A little bit finds itself into our Zenith, our the Mari Nectaris, and anything that needs a little bit of just a little slap in the fanny kind of a thing. We put that in there too.
Well, do you have? Are you putting anything else in this Merlot? Is there a little cab in there or anything else?
No, this is all Merlot.
100% Merlot.
Never been anything but 100%.
That's even more. That's even, to be honest with you, more impressive.
Doesn't need it. I mean, to be honest with
it's delicious.
Yeah.
It's got that nice curve.
I might be going home with a bottle of that tonight.
Right on.
So,
Rich, is this barrel aged the same amount of time as the cab? Is this
Yep.
2.5 years?
We
30 months?
bottled the Merlot in the cab almost exactly the
We
same.
bottled the Merlot and the Cab and the Zin that we're drinking today and the Malbec on the same day.
Yeah.
Really?
from the same vintage. Yeah. On
Nice.
December 18th, I think.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice. Beautiful.
Could be totally false. We have absolutely no way of verifying.
I think December.
Well, actually,
Unlike you, Rich, he's young and actually remembers things.
I know. Oh, I get it. Now. I got a
Stamped
lot
on
of
the
you out
box.
there, and yeah,
Oh
You
yeah,
can go
it's
check the box. We can-
right.
Yeah, it's stamped on the box. That is true. So we got
could actually fact check me, but I think it was December.
Fact check. And that was Julio's Zoom.
It says right
Actually,
here.
it was December 17th.
Yeah.
It says right here that Rich was wrong. There we go.
He
I
bought
lie a lot.
9 times a year, so sorry,
Right.
I'm a day
Yeah.
off. But
Really good. I like that one a lot. That one may be making its way home with me. Yes, absolutely. All right, what do we got next?
Zinfandel.
We're down to the Zin.
Are you ready for
Well,
it?
I think what we should do is have a chug contest.
Richie and I can-
I have to send all these people home after this. You know that, right?
They just have to walk.
Oh, yeah, I know. Chug contest.
Hmm.
Still the reigning lush, Rich.
2-1.
Well, she had more in her glass.
Yeah, you can do your sample
we do
that
have to
way.
be
If that
careful.
would
We have
make
to
you
go out
all
and-
happy.
We have to operate equipment that
He has to,
literally has, like warning labels where people's fingers are getting cut off.
he does. Rich has to operate machinery after this, so it's okay for
I
him.
actually do. So she
I do.
can climb ladders and all kind of dangerous stuff.
OSHA is taking notes right now. I think you better move on.
Yeah.
All right, the Zinfandel. Wow, that
Moving
nose
on.
on this. That nose on this Zinfandel.
This is pretty
I got it. Like I started smelling that like from here.
Yeah, the Zin is
Wow.
That's what we harvested today off of our place.
That's great.
Zin we have at 1,300 feet all the way down to about 800 feet. So we had to harvest that at different times, 2 or 3
That's a
times.
big boy Zin.
This is a big boy Zin. The alcohol is going to be a little bit higher. It's going to have a little bit more like an herbaceousness to it. It's going to have a like
Yeah, it's
I'm
a
sorry,
little,
I'm talking too much.
well, this one's it's a little earthier, a little more herbaceous. One of the first times I tried this wine, actually, we were doing tasting notes on it. This is like a couple years ago. And Richie was like, yeah, it's Zin. It's just, I could, taste like does every year. Like I know this wine like the back of my hand, and it just knows this. Like it's so like characteristically Midnight Zin. And it's getting pumped into a tank to ferment as we speak for the next vintage.
Other people are doing our
Yeah.
work for us right now.
This is why they're taking longer. We were supposed
That's
to be
why
done
we're
already.
drinking more and taking longer. You
No,
bet.
but also at the end of that, you get this. I get like this, like fresh raspberry at the end of that, right? Yeah.
Super fruity. They call it jammy, but I don't. It's
No,
got a
honestly.
nice clay herbaceousness, dried herbs, chalky from the soil. This it's very distinctive. It's our own. I think it's our most distinctive wine that we make. It's also the most consistent. Like 1998 was the very first year we harvested this Zin off of this vineyard, and we got 90 points from the Wine Spectator. And I was like, this is going to be easy because I'm that good. It didn't turn out that way, but the vineyard is it's now 27 years old. The same vineyard manager, Fernando, has been with me the whole time, and it's just so similar every year. And we have such a nice, loyal, crazy Zin fanatic following for it that it's
Zin
one of our
cult of Zin.
the people that like high alcohol wines and like Zin, they really like this wine.
I can see why.
16
It'll
point.
get you though. You be careful. You don't drink a whole bottle by yourself.
Don't drink. This is not a single serving.
Not
No.
a chugging contest,
Not
right?
a chugging contest. What was your question, sir? When do you classify this as old vine Zin? Would this be an old vine Zin at 27 years old?
There is no like definition for
Yeah.
it, but generally people in the business that have vines older than 30 years, and these are 27. So we're getting up there. We're going to start replanting the vineyard 4 acres at a time over the next 6 or 7 years, just to kind of freshen things up. And we had a little red blotch in the Merlot, so we took half of that out last year. So we're gonna little by little, we're gonna replant everything, and probably change the mix of what's out in the field for, what the current times, what sells.
He said, "Yeah, don't do that. It's delicious."
I'll always grow Zin. My dad loves Zin, so the reason we have Zin planted is because of the old boy. So
Yeah.
I'll always have a few acres for him and a few acres of Chardonnay for my mom.
Yeah, there you go.
Question. We have a question.
What's the question? Vintage and alcohol percentage on this one.
2020, and the paperwork says 16.8.
That's every bit of that.
Okay.
I like how Heather says that the paperwork says.
I can personally guarantee you that this
I
is
do like
within the
that.
legal realm of leeway for alcohol reporting.
Did you hear what he said?
No.
Did you hear what he said? He said he can verify that this is it. You have a little bit of leeway.
You
When
have
you do it.
0.5% leeway.
0.5% can go either way. 0.5%. So if you all thought it was a little bit higher than that, within the legal classification, you can be 0.5% higher or lower than what's stated on the label.
That's correct.
I would go the higher route on this one.
Yeah.
In the case
if you were to
of
push
the
it.
Zin, if I'm near a threshold point, I don't mess around with the rules because I'm one of those guys that for my entire life I've always gotten caught. And it's kind of a big deal if you misreport your stuff. And I actually had a 6-pallet order of Zin in China on their dock, and it didn't meet the parameters, the legal parameters. So they were ready to reject the order at the dock and send it back to me.
Really?
So I don't mess around with that anymore. I had to pay to have it all relabeled in the Chinese language and with the proper alcohol. So if this says 16.8, it might be 17 or 17.1, but I don't stretch it any further. If I can get below a threshold, I will take that legal. Like if it's 16.2, I'll go to 15.9. It's because people freak out when they see 17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, do not drink a whole bottle of it.
It's still beautiful. The alcohol does not take over on this at all.
No.
It still has everything you want in it, and because sometimes I've had some high end zins that high alcohol zins that the alcohol just takes over, and
ruins your throat.
It ruins it, and this does not. This is very harmonious.
It's killer with spicy food. It's killer with barbecue.
Yeah.
It's also great with Thanksgiving.
Great with Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
If you want to have Thanksgiving be a frank exchange of views, you drink a bottle or two of that.
You put a couple bottles of these on the table, and Uncle Jim's going to tell you exactly where to go. There you go.
Yeah, truly.
You'll do it sooner, sir.
Yeah,
there you go. How did I know that? That's his father's name. How did I know? Have you ever done a Pinot Noir?
He did.
I
think
did.
The last one was like 06. Was it?
06?
There's a funny story about that, and I'll try to make it quick. I made Pinot. I used to tell people I made Pinot from 04 to 07. I was pretty sure about it. I had someone, nice, kind person, email me and say, "We just had a bottle of your 08 last night, and it was delicious." And I'm like, "Well, I didn't make an 08. You must be thinking of Dark Star or some other place." The next day, he sent me a picture of my 08 Pinot. So about a month later, I got an email from a different person saying, "Wow, we really enjoyed your 09 Pinot last night." And I again got back and I'm like, I didn't make one in 09. You must be confused. Sure enough, he sent me a picture of my 09 Pinot. So I haven't got anyone calling me about my 2010 Pinot. I'm pretty sure I made 04 to 09 Pinot.
Yeah.
The reason I
the
don't
funny
make
part,
it,
he was drinking Zin at the time, and he sort of forgot the couple years in there.
I don't know. I'm not the smartest person you're going to talk to today. But the reason I stopped making it was Bill Lashford, who had a vineyard at the end of, I'm pointing to you guys, at the end of Anderson Road, where we are, grew Pinot here. And it's really hard to grow Pinot here, and it's harder to make it right. And but he was the guy that would be out there all day, like checking out the sun exposure on his fruit and his canopy on all hours of the day, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And he'd be pulling individual leaves away from clusters so they would get a little more sun at 4 p.m. I mean, he was this guy. So when he said it was good, and he really grew it well. And he had 3 different clones. I can't remember them all, but 115 Pomard and one other one. And I got my 1 row of each, and I made it, and it turned. I thought it was great, but then he sold the vineyard and ran away from me and didn't tell me.
There you go.
The end.
The end.
So it was really kind of weird because I made wine for him, and we were really good buddies again.
Yeah. Well, that's hard. You know, again, it's sort of the way the business goes, though, right? I mean, right
Yeah.
now.
So I don't make a Pinot anymore. It's too much work. Overnight, a barrel of Pinot. Like I was making 3 and 4 barrel lots, and overnight you'd come in, and the 4th barrel would be bad. It would have gone.
Really? It would turn on you. Well, first of all, I want to thank you taking time away from the harvest to drink wine with us.
Well, I can't thank you enough for taking us away from the mess that is.
Yeah. By the way, you owe me for that one.
Yeah, I'll make it up to you somehow.
Case is in. Somebody said, I don't know. It wasn't me who said that. Somebody out there, I don't know who said case is in. But anyways,
that little lady off to your left has a whole pile of Zin at her disposal. She just gives the stuff away for whoever asks.
Seriously?
I don't know.
I don't know. Heather's
Get back to the
we have
harvest
some.
table.
Let's put it this way: we have some here, and she has some at the wholesaler.
Yeah, there's
and
plenty.
So we need to transfer her stuff to me to you. So
Right.
keep buying this in. How's that?
Actually, I still have a lot here too. So
we need to go further down the chain.
The
Right.
perfect circle.
All right, there you go. It's the circle of life. Anyways, I want to thank you. Actually, I want to really thank you for introducing us to your assistant winemaker. Rena, thank you so much for being here tonight. I really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
This was actually a blast.
Brenda's a superstar.
Very
It's
fun.
One of these.
So she's coming out next time you come out, right?
Yes, please.
She's coming
Oh,
out
I'm
next time.
in.
Yeah.
Long
Maybe
after I'm
she's
out of
coming
it,
out,
Brenda
and
will
not
be
you.
I'm in. Tell me when.
Hey! I can't.
Hey,
She's
he
great.
gets so mad at me just quickly.
Heather, we miss you.
I wish I
Which
was
one
there
is
with
it?
you,
Yeah.
but I'm here.
Heather comes
Selling
out
wine.
almost every
Selling
year
wine.
at Harvest with Annie and Tony.
Well, I really want to thank you guys for showing up tonight and doing this with us, and also just sharing this wine with us is has always been. I can speak for Eric and Ray and the guys in the wine department. They love selling your product because once they've done it once, they don't have to do it again. Everybody knows how good it is.
Yeah.
So,
And I want to say,
thank you.
one thing, Ray, that shirt makes you look totally buff. Like you look like a badass in that shirt. You look rippling, man.
Yeah, for an old guy.
Hey,
For an old
Ray,
guy.
Ray,
Not bad.
you may want to go stop and see HR before you leave today.
Yeah.
No, he looks badass in that. Like a super agent or something.
He is a super agent of the. You know what his nickname is? The Grape One.
I like
Nice.
that.
I
Nice.
love that.
L.A.
yeah.
The Grape One. He
I thought you were gonna
does
say
our just so anybody that knows that doesn't listen to our radio show on Saturdays. A radio show on Saturday called "It's the Liquor Talking," and it turns into a podcast, just as this will. You can get this wherever you get your podcast. Look for "It's the Liquor Talking." But on Saturday, Ray does the Wine of the Week, and he introduces us and teaches us about wine every week. So
Very
Ray
knowledgeable man.
he is a
and
very
gentleman.
knowledgeable man. So thank you,
Boy,
everybody.
can
Thanks
really
everybody
talk
here
this
for
in a
showing
way,
up tonight.
too.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, thanks, guys. Really
We'll talk to
appreciate
you
the
later.
time. I appreciate the attention. And next time, I will be super professional, I promise.
That, sir, has been fact checked as a lie.
I hate those freaking fact checks.
Love seeing you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys.
I'll see if I can get everything done. I just end everything.